everybody, Lord Tremendous here, got a battle report here for you, and if you've been wondering why it's been taking so long for me to put them up, I've been traveling a lot for work, and I caught myself a little bit of a cold, so my voice was all raspy and stupid sounding, so I decided not to put you through that. What with over 200 battle reports up there, I'm sure that you guys could find one if you were really itching for a Lord Tremendous bite, and if not, there are millions of other battle reporters on YouTube that do just as good, if not better, battle reports. So we're all good. We're all good. See, we're all still friends. We're all still friends. But I'm back, and I am trying to get this one up here. So we have another 2,500 point battle. A little bit of Carnival of Chaos prep, because I'm still getting ready for that. This is battle report number 209, Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion versus Stone Master of the Dwarves. That's right, the next day we met up and he brought out his modified list. And yeah, we kicked the crap out of each other, and it's a hell of a game. So stay tuned.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it is slightly changed. I have my Vampire Lord, Lord Tremendous, who's a level 4 wizard with a heavy armor, Abyssal Terror, Sword of Might, Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Other Trickster, Shard, Quick Blood, Red Fury, and Allure Vampires. He is the definition of Lord Choice Blender. My hero choices are my Lich Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 2 wizard with the Dispel Scroll and Allure Light. Tomb Prince is Dark Vincent, Great Weapon, Armor, Silvered Steel, and Dragonbane Gem, and my Neko Tech, blah blah. Sinister Jeffrey with the Dragon Helm and the Iron Curse icon. My core choices are 5 Skeleton Horsemen Archers with a banner, 44 Zombies with Banner Musician, 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command, hand weapon, shield, and light armor, and 13 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command and light armor. My special choices are 10 Black Knights with Lances, Barding, Banner Musician, and Banner of Eternal Flame, a Spirit Host, 3 Medusa Stalkers, Those That Gaze, and 3 Morghast Harbingers. My rare choice, of course, is my Casket of Souls. And I did say there was change. There's no change, but I actually have some Black Knights put together and on the table. So that's the change. I apologize. Here's my opponent's list, and this one has changed from my last battle report, so yeah, check it out. He still has his Dwarf Lord with a shield on Shield Bearers. He's got a runic weapon with the Master Rune of Swiftness, the Rune of Fury, and the Rune of Might, and he's got a runic talisman with the Rune of Warding ×3. He's got a Master Engineer for his hero choices, and he's completely naked. He's got a Runesmith with a shield, runic armor with the Rune of Stone, runic talisman with the Rune of Warding, and 2 runes of spellbreaking. He's got another Runesmith with a shield. He's got the runic talisman of Rune of the Furnace and Rune of Spellbreaking ×2. And for his last trick, he's got another Runesmith with a shield and the runic talisman with Master Rune's Passage and the Rune of Spellbreaking ×1. He's also got a Thane BSB with the runic standard Rune of Battle ×3, which I didn't know about. You'll see why later. His core choice is a big old unit of 43 Quarrelers with full command and great weapons. And his special choices are 2 cannons with, one's got the Rune of Burning, the other one has the Rune of Forging and the Rune of Burning. And of course he's got an organ gun with the Rune of Accuracy and the Rune of Burning. He's also got 29 hammers, I believe. Yeah, 29 hammers with full command, and they got that runic standard Master Rune of Groth One Eye. And to be perfectly honest, I don't remember what that one does, but he has it, so there. And here are my spells because they're awesome. Look at those cards, aren't they pretty? The top ones. And since Dwarves don't have spells, we go over here to deployment. And as you can see, I was kind of like, all right, I guess I'll just hang back and see what happens. I put my general out there because I didn't have a problem with my terror getting blown out from under him, because I just figured whatever. If he's shooting at my general, he's not shooting at anything else, and he's not going to... I didn't think he would kill my Vampire Lord, and honestly, I figured if he killed the terror out from under my Vampire Lord, then I would just throw him into the unit of zombies and be like, come at me, bro, because he's not going to get any points for, you know, the terror unless the vampire is dead, and I was going to do my best to see that he didn't kill my vampire. Other than that, the Morghasts are way over on the left. The Black Knights are over behind the house because they can go through the house. My scouts are over there just in case he wants something easy to shoot at, which I was perfectly fine with. But I'm looking at a massive shooting army, and until I do something about it, there's really nothing I'm going to do in combat. But an idea comes up to me, not in this particular moment, but later on, if I can get my Black Knights into the flank of the Coralers. I figured they were stubborn, but with Killing Blow, any character he put over there was probably going to die. I was hoping, anyway. And maybe I could whittle down the Coralers, because even at Strength 5, he needs, 4s to hit me, 3s to wound, maybe fails a fear check, stuff like that. So I was thinking about sending him over there, maybe with the General in tow to kind of like, I don't know, boost the unit for any losses they might take, with the hope that eventually I kill off the Coralers, especially if I can get him in the flank, to really mitigate the amount of attacks he throws back at me and stuff. Meanwhile, the Harbingers and the Skeleton Warriors are just going to kind of come up the middle, left flank there, with the hopes of pulling his army away from his, his war machines. So when my snakes showed up, they could obliterate all of them. That was the plan. Here's my opponent's army. There's his Coralers with a bunch of characters in it. There's his Hammers with a bunch of characters in it. And there's his Organ Gun, his 2 cannons, and his Engineer behind him. I mean, it's a Dwarf list. What do you expect? And here's my right flank, which consists of my Scouts, my Black Knights, my General, and my, Casket of Souls. And, of course, my Spirit Host right next to the General, because I don't really care. And here's my center, which consists of my Zombies, my Skeleton Archers, my Skeleton Warriors, and my Harbingers. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first. Oh well, what can you do? I didn't finish deploying first, go figure. So it is what it is. He rolled like a 6. I blame myself and his dice. So yeah, and as you can see, they didn't move because, well, they're Dwarves and they're mostly a gun line. What do they care? During the shooting phase, he of course takes the bait and fires everything at my General, killing the Terror, which is perfectly fine. And then with, I think, the Organ Gun, he shoots at the Harbingers. And even long range and skirmishers, he's able to slip 2 wounds through on them. So what can you do? Then over here, I don't remember what it is that shoots at these guys, but 1 scout dies. And I can live with that. I really can. Nothing else happens, so we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement. And I might be a little pissed off. So I shoot everything forward. I didn't put my General into the Zombies because I wanted him closer. It was a gamble. I know. But it was a gamble. I figured I'd throw the General up there, give him something to shoot at, because he's going to. And maybe the General can weather it enough that he can live through it, with his spells and everything. I wanted to try to get Curse of Years off on the Coralers, too. I thought that would be useful. Just stuff like that. That was the hope. I also bring the Scouts and the Black Knights up, in the hopes of shooting or getting that charge off next turn on his Coralers, because if he moves them to face the Black Knights, that's fine. They're move or shoot, so I felt pretty good about that, and I would just keep trying to move him around as much as I could. So he would either give me the flank or just start, firing away at the Black Knights, which hopefully I can res. That was the hope. Other than that, yeah, the core of my army moves up the center as fast as it can, which is about 8 inches, because they were within 12 of the General, and the Morghast move up there 10 because they have hover and they never march. During the magic phase, the casket goes off and is able to obliterate a cannon, which is very nice. It doesn't do anything else, but it took out a cannon. That's awesome. Nothing else happens of note, so we go over here to top of 2 after movement. And there's a little bit of tiny movement here. The hammers come down about 3 inches. It was breathtaking. It really was. Nothing happens in the magic phase, so we go into shooting, and one of the knights get popped, and my General takes a wound. I think the Coralers fired at my General, and we're only able to do 1 wound to him. I think the cannon fired at, my Black Knights, and we're able to do 1 wound to him, which is fine with me. And then I believe the Organ Gun takes careful aim and fires away at him, and is able to do 1 more wound to the Black Knight. So really not that bad. Really not that bad at all. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and I send them in. Why not? The Black Knights go charging into the Coralers, and my General moves up right next to the Coralers with the idea of doing the 6-inch bubble to heal them. Figured I could just keep pounding on the hammer or the Coralers until they died, and I put my General up there so he couldn't twist the whole unit around to look at my Black Knights and get all those extra attacks. I figured with my General there, he could turn him to face, sure, but it would take a while. I was hoping laziness would kick in. I had a whole bunch of hope there. Other than that, the Harbingers get right up next to the rock so they can kind of see the hammers just in case that flank shows up. Skeleton Warriors get ready for the hammers to come in and play, and the zombies just kind of hang back doing their thing. And the archers move up because they like taking pot shots at stuff. Meanwhile, my Spirit Host just kind of hangs out because I have no idea what to do with him. There's a better picture of my Black Knights slamming into the Corlers. And as you can see, I moved my general up as far as he could go, simply because I thought it would be cool to stop him from being able to, bring all those attacks to bear. I thought I was being clever. See the way the cannon's blocking some too. I thought it was very clever. I was very proud of this. During the magic phase, once again, my casket, starting with the organ gun, he rolls like a 15 and then a 17. So yeah, glorious. The organ gun explodes, which is beautiful. It does bounce to the hammers and the correlers and the other cannon and even the engineer, but then he's rolling like 2s and 3s on 3 dice, so that sucked. But I got another war machine, and I love that. Absolutely love that. Over here, during the magic phase, invocation goes off, and now my Black Knights are at full capacity, which I'm feeling really good about. And then my scouts, taking some pot shots at an engineer, are able to roll a 6 to wound, and it slips through, and now the engineer is that much closer to being part of my army. During combat, oh dear God, the Quarrelers... I do a lot of damage. Let me put that out there right now. I do a lot of damage with the Black Knights. I was very happy with that. I took out about 8 or 9 Quarrelers, which I was very pleased with. Unfortunately, the Quarrelers that got to fire back rolled out the box. There was a box. He should have rolled inside of it or close to it. He rolled on the opposite end of the planet from where the box is. And of course, I could not make that many saves. And as you can see, 5 Black Knights are gone. Yeah, not happy about that at all. He didn't kill 5 Black Knights. What ended up happening is he had a banner, a BSB, and then he had that fancy banner times 3 that gave him +2 combat res. Yeah, he had +4 combat res just from the damn banner. But as it was, with the charge and everything like that, I only would have won by like 1 or 2. Or it would have been tied, I think, or I would have won by 1. With that banner combo, I lost, and I lost one of my Black Knights. Or I lost some more Black Knights. So in the end, I have 5 Black Knights left, and I was not expecting that at all. And then, of course, he won combat, so he reforms, and he gets all that cluster F'd up in there. So yeah, not what I was expecting. That plus that +4 combat res from banner shenanigans alone was 2 more than I expected. I really didn't see that coming, but maybe I should have. And I guarantee I'll be expecting it next time. Ooh, that sucked. But anyway, with that all said and done, we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and again, there's not a ton. I think the hammers came forward a few more inches, and that's about it. Nothing happens in his shooting phase worth note, and his combat phase pretty much eats my Black Knights alive. I do kill a runesmith, but that's it. And I'm having trouble, excuse me, I'm having trouble just coming to terms with the fact that this unit has that much combat res, but I don't know what to do now. Now my general's standing there like, crap, I don't want to be here. So, yeah. Yeah, not thrilled with this outcome at all, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do. With my heart sunk, we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and for some reason, I've moved my skeleton warriors up towards his hammers, who are now easily being supported by the Correlers. I don't know what I'm thinking. The Spirit Hosts move up a little bit to sacrifice themselves in case the Correlers get froggy. Archers stay put to just keep shooting and trying to get some Laura Light magic off. My snakes finally pop up right next to the engineer, which is nice. And my vampire general moves the hell out of the way because he doesn't want to be charged by all those Correlers. Because even if he hits and wounds like 10 times, I think charge, high ground, +4 combat res for banner shenanigans is really, really bad. So, yeah, was not looking at that one for any kind of fun. And my Harbingers move over to the left flank there to get a better angle on the hammers should they expose that flank long enough. During the magic phase, nothing happens because he expends the rest of his rune breakers. He had 3 not rune breakers, but spell breakers in this army because per the rules, as long as the runes aren't the same, you can take as many as you can fit. And yeah, so He had 2 Spellbreaker runes ×2 where he gets rid of the spell, and he had 1 regular one where he gets rid of the spell, and he's used them all now. So magic is really not going well for me. In shooting, though, my stalkers are able to Care Bear stare the last cannon off the table, which is kind of nice. My casket does go off, but he's able to make his leadership checks no problem. But hey, that's something. I'll take it. And then, no, I'm sorry, that's not true. The cannon was not destroyed by the snakes. The snakes, instead, they was destroyed by the casket. The snakes, instead, tried to Care Bear stare at the, what's it called, Dwarf Engineer. And I end up rolling 2 miscasts and a 4. Needless to say, I was not pleased. I was not pleased at all. Needless to say, I do no damage to the general or to the engineer, and 2 of my snakes get pulped because my opponent has no problem rolling a 5 and a 6 on 2d6 because reasons. So yeah, the snakes, what should have been enough to just finish off that hill, turned into the snakes once again looking at each other for direction. I used to be in love with the snakes. I really did. And now I'm starting to get really pissed off at them. So we'll see. We'll see. I still like them in the list. They still do produce most of the time. But lately, I think I just kind of hit a low point with them. So we'll see what happens. They may or may not see the sideline for a little while if they keep this up. So, grumbling under my breath, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and my opponent charges the Spirit Host, makes it no problem. I did a piss poor job with angling the Spirit Host. I see that now. I blame myself. And his hammers come in to just kind of deal with my Skeleton Warriors, because why not? Other than that, his whole army is dead or, you know, in combat or getting ready to be in combat. There's a better picture of his Correlers slamming into the Spirit Host, and they're dead. Oh, I'm sorry. His hammers did try to charge my Skeleton Warriors and failed, so that's something. Nothing happens in the shooting phase, so we go into combat, and combat res alone finishes off the Spirit Host. Not a surprise. And they overrun, because they have no problem with it, right into my zombies, which sucks. Absolutely sucks. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and I decide, let's do something incredibly stupid. Let's charge into the flank of the Correlers with the Skeleton Warriors. Why? I don't know why. Because all the decisions I'm making are bad anyway. Why not give the hammers a flank? Oh my god. Just looking at this picture makes me want to cut myself. I swear to God. This is so stupid. So stupid. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. Feel free. I already know most of you typing in the comment section, what the hell is wrong with you? And the answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. That was beyond even me. I'm embarrassed, actually. So yeah. I did that. I did that. 200 plus battle reports under my belt, and I made a mistake like that. Trust me, nothing you're going to say is going to be as bad as what I'm saying to myself. So feel free, have a field day, consider it a gift. So yeah, I screw up real bad right there. Other than that, the scouts and the snakes converge their efforts on the engineer. The harbingers move over to get a better charge on the flank or rear of the hammers after they eat my skeletons alive. And my vampire runs in there like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it ain't going to be much. Yeah. Nothing happens in the magic phase again, so we go into shooting phase, and finally the snake rolls a 10 and is able to destroy the engineer, so yay points, I guess, but that should have happened last turn. Still disappointed with the snakes. And then we go into combat, and while I do a decent amount of damage to the Correlers, it is far from enough. And yeah, I do win this combat, but barely, and they make their break check no problem, so awesome. And then we go over here to top of 5, and the hammers go in because I gave it up. Sweet. Oh my god, I did everything but set myself on fire. So yeah, hammers come in with, you know, his Dwarf Lord and a Runesmith, and why not? You know, I'm an idiot. So yeah, and other than that, everything he has is deader in combat. There's a better picture of how stupid I am. I mean, his hammer slamming into my skeletons, making this combat pretty much a deadlock for him. What can you do? And we go into combat, and yeah, everything that you thought was going to happen happened. The fact that I still have some skeleton warriors on the table blows my mind a little bit. Needless to say, I lose this combat. I think I killed like 4 corralers. It was really, really bad. But yeah, there it is, everybody. I've got like 18 skeleton warriors left and a couple characters, and I deserve this. I deserve this. So we go over here to bottom of 5. And I don't know what else to do. I don't really care. So the Harbingers go into the rear to hammers. My general goes into the rear to corralers. And I'm grabbing at straws. I'm just hoping that that's really all I got. There's a better picture of my last-ditch effort to try to, bail these guys out. Because if I can save the skeleton warriors, which would be mind-numbing, I can maybe salvage this debacle, but I highly doubt it. I'm also hoping that maybe my general can hit and wound 10 times and kill that many corralers around. Maybe even breaking one of these units in combat. That would be great. Maybe getting a hold of a character or 2 before he gets obliterated. It's all hope, really. It's all just kind of hope. But we'll see. And the Harbingers, of course, going into the rear. I'm hoping he makes the mistake of bringing a character back there so that I can killing blow him 4 times and seeing him off into the nether realm. That's the hope. During the magic phase, grabbing at straws, I 5 dice Winds of Death, and it goes off irresistible. Or I'm sorry, not irresistible, but it goes off, and I misfire it on the artillery die. And even though it's centered on my general, it does still clip the corralers and go way behind me, doing nothing else. It ends up killing a handful of the corralers, not a ton, because life and reasons and garbage. But it is what it is. What can you do? When you gave it up this week, not even fate wants to help you out. And then we go into combat, and I proceed to lose by 3. Long story short, I lose this combat by 3. I'm just dying inside. Vampire Lord's dead. Harbingers are on their last leg. Skeletons are trying, but it's not long for this world. Tomb Prince dies, and of course he does 1 wound to the Dwarf King, or he does 1 hit to the Dwarf King, which doesn't wound because FML. And yeah, the corralers turn to face the Skeleton Warriors, and it's all over but the crying. And trust me, I'm crying. So we go over here to top of 6, and I'm like, yeah. I've done all I can. He doesn't bother to move, by the way, because, yeah, he can't. We go straight into combat, and he obliterates the unit. Combat res and everything else. He's able to finish off the Morghasts and the Skeleton Warriors and the Necrotech, and it's all my fault. I deserve this. My opponent did exactly what he should have done. So we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and my snake comes up to try to kill himself by staring at the corralers. The scouts come up, and the archers come up to shoot at the corralers, just more out of spite than anything else. Other than that, everything else that I have is a casket, which I don't want to move, and I'm an idiot. During the magic phase, the casket takes a parting shot, doing a significant amount of wounds to both the hammers and the corralers. And then during the shooting phase, I take a few more of the corralers out. I do some significant damage to the dwarves, all things considered, but there it is. There's the end of the game, and I failed tremendously, as you can see. Oh my god, I've never been more ashamed. Never, 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 never. But yeah, even my opponent was like, what the frick were you thinking, dude? And I'm like, what I've discovered is that my shoulders are very comfortable, and so I tend to sit on them in inopportune times, like this instance. So yeah, and in case you guys are wondering what I'm trying to get at here, I had my head up my ass, so yeah. But you know what? It was still a fun game. We laughed. My opponent got some real good practice in with his dwarves against a full retard opponent. So me being the full retard. But you know what? We'll get to the recap in a minute because I'm not done making fun of myself. And right now, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. all of the lores of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Hey guys, I got another great deal for you. Movement trays. We all use them. We all need them. If you're watching this report, you have some or you need some. And do I have the vendor for you? This guy makes solid metal movement trays. I mean, cuts them to your specifications using a galvanized metal. It's not that cheap, thin, weak aluminum. This stuff is sturdy. I'm using them. I used them all throughout this game. Take a look at the pictures. They're all in there. I love these trays. They're metal, so they auto-magnetize. You know, well, provided you put magnets on your guys. And he does them dirt cheap, guys. I'm telling you. He's got an eBay page. There's an email on here. Get a hold of this guy. Get yourself some movement trays and get yourself organized. You're going to be thrilled. You can paint them. You can do everything. These things are awesome. My local game store guy is literally in contact with this guy so that he can become a vendor. That's how high quality these things are. So I'm telling you guys, give this guy an email. Check out his eBay page. Get yourself some movement trays and stop playing like a Neanderthal. Tell him Tremendous sent you. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? Send him an email. You want Lore of Fire? Send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition? Send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated. They're on cardstock. They're Photoshop made. They're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards. The psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you know, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. That's right. You knew this was coming eventually. In conjunction with Unleashed Wargaming and Lonehammer, we have opened an online store with hats, shirts, and I think that's it for right now. Maybe dice and stuff like that later on, as well as other gear, maybe, you know, dice cups, whatever. We'll think of something. But we're doing a trial thing. For the next month and a half or so, we're going to have this online store. The website is here. It'll be in the description of the page and everything like that. But yeah, if you want a t-shirt, if you want a hat, if you want to wear paraphernalia, by all means, head over to this store, check it out, get yourself some Lord Tremendous gear. God knows I have. and yeah, this is your chance. If you like Lonehammer, if you like Unleashed Wargaming, if you like Lord Tremendous, you can get this stuff. And if you don't like us, you can get it and you can set it on fire and send it to us as a threat. It's awesome. But yeah, go to the website. It'll be here. It's on this channel, obviously, or on the description, and get yourself some gear. We're going to try it out for a month and see how it goes, and if it keeps up, then we'll keep adding to it, and if not, well, we'll pretend like we never did it. But yeah, guys, by all means. And if there's anything you want to see on the store or anything like that, throw it in the comments section, and if we like it, we'll make it happen. So, in case you weren't paying attention, this was a punch in the mouth parts for Lord Tremendous. I got defeated by my own stupidity, and I 100% blame myself. I got 593 points out of him. He got 2,057 out of me for a difference of 1,464 well-earned points by my opponent. I ended up losing my Vampire Lord, my Necrotech, my Prince, my Skeleton Wars, my Zombies, my Black Knights, my Morghast, and my Spirit Hosts. The Dwarves ended up losing 1 Runesmith, a Master Engineer, 2 Cannons, and an Organ Gun. So I did a little bit of damage, but just, mostly to myself. What in Nagash's name was I thinking about when I charged a flank of the Quarrelers? I didn't even realize how stupid that was until I was going into the magic phase and I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, why did I do that? Even my opponent was like, are you feeling okay? It's like, no, I'm not. I think I ate the lead paint. I don't know. It's all bad. It's all bad. But yeah, what can you do when your opponent gives it up to you that sweet? You just gotta take it, right? And he took it, and he didn't even leave his number. Totally unprepared for the +4 combat resolution from the Quarrelers. I guess maybe I should have seen it coming. I figured the unit was stubborn, and they were, but I figured it was steadfast. It didn't really matter. But yeah, the Quarrelers +4 combat res against the Black Knights. I didn't expect that. And I also didn't expect my opponent to roll out a box. Maybe I should have, but I did not. And my opponent took full advantage of that as well. And that one doesn't hurt my feelings as much. That was well played by my opponent. I didn't know. And next time I will send my general in as well. Because go big or go home, right? But all in all, this is very well played by my opponent. He held back, played to his strengths, and waited for me to make a mistake. And boy, did I make a mistake. But on the positive side, my casket has shown that it has an intense dislike of war machines, and I like this. I like this very much. My casket was a beast, destroying all 3 war machines by the end of the game. Very happy about this. The casket is awesome. I will have to adapt my tactics against the sneaky dwarves from now on, instead of going in little at a time. Really try to play to my strengths as opposed to theirs. That was really stupid. But yeah, dwarves can be a lot tougher than I give them credit for, and that's my fault. I don't get to see them all that often, and when I do, it's usually a gun line. So seeing them in close combat like that and putting up that kind of a fight really shocked me, and it shouldn't. I've read the book. I know the book. I actually like the dwarves, but yeah, that was more than I could chew, and that's completely my fault. And I'm glad I got to play a game like this because it really showed me just how diverse the dwarves can be when not a pure shooting list, even though this one's close. And while this list is much more shooty than his last one, I like the challenge that this one gave. A lot more than the first one. Not just because I won, because it was still a challenge, but this one was deceptive is the word I want to use. Because it looks small, it looks like a shooty list, and then you get it in combat, and it's like, haha, we have teeth, and they use them. So, you know what, this was a great game, even though I made a lot of stupid mistakes. It was a great opponent, and I'm looking for some sweet revenge in our rematch. And yes, in case you were wondering at home, he is now the 3rd person in the universe to obtain a full set of Lord Tremendous dice. So congratulations to you, Stone Master. You earned the hell out of it, buddy. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 209. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.